Have you ever woken up at 3 in the morning, staring at the ceiling, and wondering if you will ever truly be okay? That feeling in your chest, that quiet anxiety about the future, is something millions of us carry every single day. You have worked hard for 20 or 30 years, yet the balance in your bank account feels incredibly thin against the rising cost of living. You worry about becoming a burden to your children, or being forced to work until the day you die because you simply cannot afford to stop. It feels like you are running a race where the finish line keeps moving further away every time you get close. But I want you to take a deep breath and listen closely to what I am about to say. You are not failing because you are lazy or because you did not work hard enough. You are struggling because the financial rules we were taught are no longer compatible with the world of 2026. We were told to work hard, save money in a bank, and trust that the system would take care of us. But in this era of high inflation and rapid change, that old map is leading us straight into a dead end. Today, we are going to look at the cold, hard truth of where most people stand and how you can choose a different path. Data from the Federal Reserve shows that a typical household headed by someone near the age of 62 has less than $200,000 saved. For many, that number sounds like a lot, but when you realize it has to last for 20 or 30 years, the math becomes terrifying. At a safe withdrawal rate, $200,000 only provides about $660 a month. You cannot live a life of dignity on that amount, and you certainly cannot find peace of mind. But there is a secret that the wealthy understand, and it has nothing to do with having a high salary or winning the lottery. Building wealth on a small income is not a dream reserved for the lucky few. It is a mathematical certainty if you follow a specific set of rules and stay consistent. Even if you are starting at 45 or 55 years old, the door to financial security is still open. The first step on this journey is recognizing that your savings account is actually a trap. In 2026, leaving your money in a traditional bank account is like watching it slowly evaporate. If inflation is at 4 or 5% and your bank is paying you 0.5%, you are losing money every single day. Your hard-earned dollars are losing their power to buy food, energy, and healthcare. To build a fortress around your future, you must stop being a saver and start being an owner. The system is designed to reward those who own assets and penalize those who only hold cash. But before you can own anything, you must first break the chains of high-interest debt. Debt is the silent killer of dreams, especially for those of us in our middle years. If you are paying 20% interest on a credit card while hoping to earn 10% in the market, you are losing the battle. You must treat high-interest debt like a fire in your house and put it out with everything you have. Imagine trying to swim to shore while carrying a heavy bag of stones. That is what debt does to your financial life. Once the fire is out, you need to build what I call the foundation of peace. This is a small fund of cash, enough to cover 3 to 6 months of basic living expenses. This money is not for investing or for spending on a new car. It is there so that when life happens, and it always does, you do not have to go back into debt. Having this cash gives you the power to say no to bad situations and the calm to make better decisions. Now let's talk about the engine that will actually drive you to wealth, even on a modest income. This engine is called compound interest, and it is the most powerful force in the financial universe. Many people think they need thousands of dollars to start, but that is a lie. In fact, consistency is far more important than the size of your initial deposit. If you are 40 years old today and you can find a way to invest just $200 every month, by the time you reach 65, that small amount could grow into over $250,000. If you can push that to $500 a month, you are looking at over $600,000. That is the power of the market doing the heavy lifting for you while you sleep. We must understand that the first $100,000 is always the hardest milestone to reach. It feels like you are pushing a massive boulder uphill, and it barely moves an inch. But once you cross that threshold, the math begins to change in your favor. The second $100,000 arrives much faster than the first, because your money starts working as hard as you do. In 2026, we have access to low-cost index funds that allow you to own a piece of the largest companies in the world. An index fund like the Standard & Poor 500 has historically returned about 10% annually over long periods. You do not need to be a stock market expert or spend hours looking at charts. You just need to be a disciplined owner who refuses to be shaken by the daily news cycle. The news is designed to keep you in a state of fear so that you make emotional decisions with your money. But wealth is built by those who can remain calm when everyone else is panicking. The fourth step in our roadmap is understanding the rule of 4%. This is the golden rule of retirement that tells you exactly who you have enough to stop working. If you can build a portfolio that is 25 times your annual spending, you have reached the point of freedom. At that stage, you could withdraw 4% of your money every year to live on, and the rest will likely keep growing. This is how ordinary people, teachers, accountants, and mechanics become millionaires. They did not do it by being flashy. They did it by understanding this simple math. But what if you feel like you are starting too late, or your income is just too low to save that much? This is where step 5 comes in, and it is about increasing your income without losing your soul. In 2026, the world is more connected than ever before, and your experience is a valuable asset. You have spent decades learning how the world works, and that knowledge has immense value. Whether it is consulting, writing, or starting a small online business, you need a second stream of income. Think of your main job as your defense, and your side income as your offense. Every dollar from this second stream should go directly into your investment fortress. Do not use this extra money to upgrade your lifestyle. Use it to buy your freedom. Another powerful strategy for those in their 50s is what we call house hacking. Housing is the largest expense for almost every household, often taking up 40% of your income. In the current economy, we must rethink how we use our primary residence. This might mean renting out a spare room on a travel site or moving to a smaller, more efficient home. If you can cut your housing cost by half, you can double your investment rate overnight. Imagine how much faster you could save if you did not have a massive mortgage or rent payment hanging over your head. The sixth step is a shift in your mindset regarding what it means to live a good life. We are bombarded with images of luxury and excess that are designed to make us feel inadequate. But real wealth is about freedom and peace of mind, not expensive toys or designer labels. Frugal living is not about deprivation. It is about being intentional with every single dollar. It is about choosing to spend money on things that bring lasting joy rather than temporary status. When you stop caring about what the neighbors think, you suddenly find yourself with more money than you ever thought possible. The neighbors you are trying to impress are likely buried in debt and living paycheck to paycheck themselves. The final step is the most important one, and it is the commitment to stay the course. Wealth building is not a sprint. It is a long walk in the same direction. There will be months when the market goes down by 10 or 20%. There will be times when an unexpected expense tries to derail your progress. But you must remember that these are just temporary bumps on a very long road. You are doing this for the version of you that will be 70 years old one day. You are doing this so that you can look in the mirror and know that you are truly independent. Success does not belong to the smartest person in the room. It belongs to the person who refuses to quit. The bar to be above average is actually quite low because most people are not paying attention to their finances. Most people are simply reacting to life, letting their money slip through their fingers like dry sand. By watching this and thinking about these steps, you are already ahead of 90% of the population. You have the map and you have the tools. Now you just need to take that first brave step. Do not wait for the perfect time to start, because the perfect time is a myth. The best time to start was 20 years ago, but the second best time is right now. Start with whatever amount you can find, even if it is just $50 a month. The act of starting creates a psychological shift that will change your entire relationship with money. Prove to yourself that you are the master of your own financial destiny. Your future self is counting on you to make the right choices in this very moment. Take a few minutes today to look at your expenses and find one thing you can cut to fund your freedom. Write down your financial goal and put it somewhere you can see it every single morning when you wake up. This is your life. and you have the power to make it extraordinary, regardless of your current income. In 2026, the opportunities for those who are disciplined are greater than they have ever been. Do not let fear or past mistakes hold you back from the future you deserve. Thank you for spending this time with me and for investing in your own growth. If you found value in this message, please share it with someone who needs a reason to hope. Let's build a community of people who are taking back their power and creating a life of true peace. Stay consistent, stay focused, and remember that your financial tipping point is closer than you think. I will see you on the path to freedom.